PC, are you still good?
I am still amazing, man. More energy to you who is watching. We are about to go into our automotive blog, and I cannot wait to be driven straight to the dealership stores by our host, Uitu Diale, giving us the news and giving us what's latest in the automotive industry.
Yeah, definitely. Mr. E2, before I let you in and come, by the way, if you guys don't know, you can catch last week's episode where Doomza came and gave a brief auto block right here on the Vuga Breakfast Show, in which he's going to be giving us and taking us through it. Good morning, Mr. E2, and how are you doing, man? Yeah.
Good morning, Mr. Mo. Good morning, TC.
Yeah.
Good morning, South Africa.
How's it, man? Are the wheels up and ready?
Man. Now we know.
Yeah,
we are on it, man.
Yeah,
on point all the time, all day, every day.
Yeah, definitely, man. I am looking forward to today's automotive block because yes, we have learned a lot last year. Yeah. Not last week. We've learned a lot. So I know you've got something for us, man. So definitely. Just take us through it, man. Take it and run away with it.
Yeah, sure, man. So remember that last week we had a conversation regarding the cousins in the motor vehicle industry, right? So our focus was on the Suzuki and Toyota partnership. So as you know, that Suzuki and partnership and Toyota have entered into a capital alliance partnership that allowed them to rebrand or rebadge each other's cars. So what happened? Let me just give you a background in this partnership. So Toyota is looking to enter the Indian market, right? But then now the Indian market is dominated by your Hyundai and your Suzuki. So in order for Toyota to be able to penetrate into that market, it figured that it should maybe establish a partnership between itself and Suzuki as part of their strategy to penetrate that market, because now Suzuki is the number one leading brand in India at the moment. So with that being said, Toyota bought 4.9% shares into Suzuki company shares, right? And then Suzuki also did the same by buying 0.21% shares just to balance the partnership. So with that happening, that means that they decided to have this partnership means that both companies will work together in terms of researching, marketing, and providing the best products for the motor vehicle industry. So there's a lot of brands that they worked on together. So namely, we have the Toyota Vitz, which is also the Suzuki Celerio, is the cars we're going to be looking at today. But then also we're going to be looking at other cars in the next coming weeks. It's going to be the Toyota Urban Cruiser, which is also branded as the Suzuki Vitara. Right, and then we also have the Toyota Rumion, which is branded as the Suzuki Ertiga. And then last but not least, we have the Suzuki Baleno, which is branded as the Toyota Starlet.
Okay.
So what happens here is that Suzuki is the one that's manufacturing and putting together all the cars, and then give them to Toyota for Toyota to market and sell their units, while Suzuki is also doing the same.
Okay.
So this, I figure that it's gonna work in terms of penetrating the Indian market, because now remember that most of the Indian consumers are used to Suzuki. Okay. So if you're gonna say, okay, here's a brand, it's Toyota, but it carries the reliability and functionality of a Suzuki, so it's like an alternative. I wouldn't say a competition, but yeah, alternative. So let's get into it, man. For today, we have the two cars, right? The Toyota Vitz and Suzuki Celerio. So both cars are mechanically identical, and even the interior is identical. The only difference in the cars is the price and the badge, man.
Yeah.
Right? So both cars are powered by a 1-liter 3-cylinder engine that produces 49 kilowatts and 89 Newton meters of torque. And they are both paired to a 5-speed manual transmission that claims an fuel average consumption of 4.4 liters per 100 kilometer.
Yeah.
Right. So when it comes to the pricing, there's like 11,000 rands price difference, right? Because now the Toyota Vitz is priced at 198,900 rands, whilst the Suzuki is priced at 178,000 rands 900. So these are the base spec price options for the vehicles.
Yeah.
But then the price changes as you go up the trim. But then now we're not gonna touch that. We're just gonna keep it here. You know,
Yeah.
First,
Keep it on the base level.
on the base level. Yeah,
Yes.
Because now remember, it's an entry level budget car.
Yeah.
So if you wanna trim up, that means we are changing the segment from entry to premium.
Yeah.
Right. So so let's keep it basic. So so with these purchases, when you buy the Toyota Vitz, you get a three year warranty service, 100,000 kilometers warranty, and then it also comes with 2 service plans at intervals of 30,000 kilometers. Right. So that means you're gonna service the car twice on the 60,000 kilometer interval. That's what you get. And then for the Suzuki, you got a 5-year, 200,000 kilometer warranty. That gives you also 2 service intervals at 30,000 kilometers. So yeah, that's it. Warranty and service plan wise. But then let's get into the infotainment system, man, and the interior of the cars. So if you look at the car from the outside, you can tell that it's a small 5-door hatchback vehicle with 14-inch alloy wheels. And then the cars come standards with fog headlights and central locking, as well as ABS, EBD, and VSC. So remember that ABS is your anti-lock braking system, and then your EPD is your electronic brake distribution, and then the VSC is the vehicle stability control. So also it comes with 2 airbags for the front part of the car, which is the driver and the passenger. Yeah, so that's it. And then on the cabin, you have your 7-inch infotainment system that comes autoplay, Android Auto ready, and as well as Apple CarPlay. And then it also has Bluetooth, USB, and aux. Right. So to add on that, we also have a climate control function, which is available for the vehicle, like for the front part of the vehicle and also the rear passengers. So you have like rear vents that are gonna offer the climate control for the rear passengers, and then also on the front passengers you have that, right? And then it also comes with the electric windows and then electric adjustable side mirrors. So yeah, the cars are not bad for their price. I feel like they are well spec'd.
Yeah.
So it's something that people should look out for, you know. And then the partnership, I feel like it's gonna work well for Toyota, because now if they wanna enter new markets, that means this partnership, this penetration strategy is actually gonna work for them, because now they are partnering with a giant in that industry. In that market. So you know, with partnerships between cars, man, we've had a lot of these, and like actually it's not Toyota. This is not their first partnership ever, because now they've also partnered with BMW. I think 2019 when they produced the Mach 5 Toyota Supra. So the Toyota Supra is actually a BMW badged as the Supra. But then but then the engine of the car is based on the BMW Z4. So it works. It's not the first time we have these companies rebrand or rebadge their cars or partner with other companies when it comes to producing the cars. So that's it, man. So with the cars, you are looking to spend about 2,000 per month on a 72-month basis. And then, as I said, that you get the warranty and you get the service plan that I mentioned earlier on.
Yeah, nice things, man. Nice things. Because I have Refueler Rasekhanto right here on my chat. I wanted to buy a car to get to work, but Toyota Vitz is a way to go.
It is.
In which is a question that I want to ask you, man, that for someone who is watching right now, you know, which car would you suggest them to take and buy, and why?
So with both cars, it's practically the same car.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of brand loyalty. If you like Toyota, you can go with Toyota. If you like Suzuki, you can go with Suzuki.
Okay.
But one thing that I've picked up with the cars is that as you go up the trim levels, you'll realize that the features that are spec'd into one car you cannot find in the other. For example, but not in these cars. I think we're going to cover that on the next segment. But I'll just make an example for now. So on the Toyota Starlet and the Suzuki Baleno, what I've realized is that on the base, I think we also covered this last week.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then I'm just going to reiterate just for the current viewers to also be aware of what's going on. So the Toyota Starlet, when you get the base spec version, it doesn't come with the reverse camera. It only has your rear parking sensors. But then when you go for the Suzuki Baleno, you get the rear view camera, which is a notable difference, and it is something for one to consider if you actually were to choose between which cars you want to go for. So if you're not sure, I would suggest a Suzuki, basically, because now, even though they are the same cars, but the spec is different. The Toyota, the price is a bit high, but what you get for the spec is not what you get compared to Suzuki. So to answer her question in a nutshell, I'd say go for the Suzuki. Go for the Suzuki, because even though like you may be a bit reluctant with the Suzuki, because it's not a well-known brand compared to Toyota.
Yeah.
But then you have to take into account the both cars were manufactured by Suzuki in the first place.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's just badged as a Toyota, but it is a Suzuki either way. So
Interesting.
go for the Suzuki.
Yeah. So TC, we're not Toyota Vitz or Suzuki Celerio. Which one are you going with?
I mean, mostly, like Itu is saying, it's the same car.
Yeah.
Basically made by Suzuki. So I'll go for the manufacturer.
What?
Suzuki. I'll go for the Suzuki.
You go for the Suzuki.
Yes.
Oh man, absolutely interesting things that you have for us, man.
So I have a question for you, Mr. Mo.
Yeah.
Between the two cars, which one would you go for? Is it the Celerio or the Vitz?
I mean, man, one thing I watch, because some of us, we don't have that much knowledge with cars, because I just love your big body cars,
Yes.
right? Even if they're small, but, just have a very big body, just to show your preference. But I will tell you, man, Suzuki for me. And I've seen Suzuki Celerio in the street. And I mean, that's the car that I would go for. It is the car that I would go
Because
for.
of the body.
Yeah. Aibo.
The bigger the better.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
We see you,
Suzuki
Mo.
for me, Suzuki for me stands out, man. Stands out, man. And I'm glad that you are actually taking us through the specs and some of the things that a lot of people do not know. Because, mind you, a lot of people, yes, they do want cars, but in terms of, where we are right now in this era, yes, we had dream cars, we want to drive BMWs, but I think there's so much important to notice on these, brands, other brands that are there, man.
Sure.
Lately, I just want you to come, man. Lately, I've seen these new cars, Beijing, man, absolutely, like, Jeto, man. Exactly.
So we're gonna get there.
Yeah.
It's just that, Manja wanted us baby steps.
Yeah,
So
we're
remember,
taking baby steps.
Yeah.
Baby steps.
Yeah.
Entry level, base level things, Mo.
yes.
So I have a question here from Bohosi Marcelo. All right, so if I may ask, which one is cheaper to service and which one got more expensive parts?
Yeah.
So both cars are practically the same brand, right? But then if you picked up earlier on when I was mentioning the prices, the Toyota is actually priced higher than the Suzuki. So that means when it comes to maintenance and getting the parts, just because it's a Toyota brand, that means you're going to be paying premium money compared to a budget brand like Suzuki.
Yeah.
Yabo. So to answer a question, Toyota is a well-known brand, and it is actually considered as a premium brand. So because of that badge, you might pay more compared to Suzuki. Yes, I hope that answers the question.
Interesting. I hope, Bohosi, where you are answered right here on the Automotive blog with Mr. Itubile. And thank you so much for joining us, man.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Mo.
Yeah, we're looking forward to having more next week right here on the Automotive blog. So if you still have any questions, okay, TC?
Yeah, I just wanted to just put something interesting out there. There was a recent, collaboration between the automotive industry and the fashion industry with the Mahindra Fusion Fest, where Tula Cindy, a fashion designer, has launched a fashion collection, a bold modern collection with Mahindra Fusion, with Mahindra, the car brand. And I thought, wow, it's actually quite interesting because remember when BMW did that one with Esther, Miss Umam Esther? Yes. I think when the automotive industry does these collabs and these fusions with the fashion or the creative industry, it's always one to be seen, and it's always interesting how these form lifestyle brands.
Yeah. So it's pretty interesting. Guti, industries are not limited by the industry in which they operate in. It's amazing, Guti. You can find an automotive dealer partnering with a fashion designer.
Great minds think alike.
They do indeed. I need to imagine the aim is one thing, the Benjamins. So we can do whatever that's going to bring us the Benjamins. Doesn't mean just because we are operating in different industries, we can be limited by those industries. So
and innovation is what always revolutionizes business. So I just want people to think out of the box and always think of new and exciting ways in which to work. Like you, Mahindra. I love that.
Yeah.
Collaboration is the new success, man.
Yes.
It is.
It's always been the success.
New.
It's been the success.
So we're looking forward to more of those collaborations in the future.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Man, definitely.
So I think maybe Nama should be a fashion designer so that I can be able to,
man. Put those designs. There's a lot that can be done, man. Especially in the interior, because a lot of people do pay attention to the interior of the car. Imagine having that beautiful design Amaxhosa seat. Things like that, man. So we're looking forward for these collaborations to happen, because there are collaborations that we never thought they would come. I remember Gucci collaborating with Nike. People were like, yay, and no. But now you're doubling the price, my friend.
Straight up. So it's something that has been happening for a while now, because if you can go back in the days, like Puma had like your BMW, Ferrari, Mercedes shoes. So it would be dope to have maybe instead of maybe your Alcantara fabric on the car, you can have a Nike leather fabric on the car.
It will be nice, man. It will be nice. Also, you want Makosa mics right here.
Yeah, sure.
Makosa mixers.
Creativity.
Vuga collaboration coming in, man, right here. So I hope you're going to come with more, and I enjoyed, and obviously with the engagement that we had on YouTube, it showed that people showed interest and they enjoyed it. We're going to have the automotive blog each and every week right here on the Vuga Breakfast Show. Right now, we are left with only 18 minutes till we hit 10 o'clock, so that we can conclude the show. You're still with me, Moketi Maimani, aka Max for Maximum Temperature, and I'm with TC Wagamazibugo, and now I'm going to let Itumeleng Diale to leave us. But in the meantime, let me leave you with your weather update to get you prepped for the day.